Do you want the bad news, Liam, or do you want the worst news first?
Give me the worst news. Let's get it out of the way.
All right, the worst news is that, unfortunately, and this is me doing my best Poe Dameron impression from
Somehow.
Rise of Skywalker, somehow Jake has died again. Jake has passed away. Longtime listeners of the program, a.k.a. people who listened a month and a half ago or however long ago it was. Every time Jake goes on vacation, he somehow dies. He is no longer with us once more. So it's another two-man episode of Pod on Lansdowne this week. I am Rich Gedman, a.k.a. Fitz. I'm here with Matt Barnes, a.k.a. Liam. Jake Spirit is once again in a different realm.
He's with us, though.
Yeah, he's definitely with us with Spirit, and he, you know, we may even get like a Ouija board and hear from him at some point. But he went to Block Island in Rhode Island. He rode a bike. I saw a video of him riding a bike, and he's never been seen from again.
Last known contact was I saw he put out a tweet with his dad and I'm assuming his brother. They were eating pistachios. Looked very wholesome. This was about an hour ago. So.
Someone must not have told him that pistachios are poison now. They had to recall a ton of them. You know, guy gets on a bike one time, then eats some pistachios. Next thing you know, he can't podcast about a horrible baseball team. The bad news is that we're ass again. The drill socks bit from last week is no more.
The optimism is gone. It's in
the toilet.
It's what is that? It's like Teddy Roosevelt's diary entry. The light has gone out of our lives.
I think we said that last time too. Last time, A, when Jake died, and B, when the Red Sox were horrible. I think you made that exact reference.
I'm sure I did. It's a good one. It's a good one to have in your back pocket.
Yep.
But things aren't good. Things are not good, Fitz.
No, they're horrible. They're nice that you're here, the listener, with us for another episode. We thank you for joining us despite the Red Sox being horrible. If you haven't done so... Wait!
Oh my God.
I have a Ouija board. Liam, I have a Ouija board. I'm getting a message. I'm getting a read. I'm getting a reading. Can you come in, Spirit of Jake? AKA... That's what his spirit is named himself.
We're getting messages from the abyss.
But nothing yet.
He's trying to join us.
This is a really right. Yeah, right. He's trying to say something. I'm getting a 6 and then a 9. NICE. That's what I'm getting here on my Ouija board. While we potentially hear from the great unknown, a first for this podcast would be, I think for any podcast, to get commentary from another realm. In the meantime, if you haven't already done so, if you like our Ouija board content and you haven't done this, go ahead and rate us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. That'd be great. I believe we're also on Google Play now and Stitcher as well. We should probably put that stuff out there, but I think we're on there now. Yeah, I think that was Jake's parting gift to us. He got us on other platforms outside of just SoundCloud, just Spotify, just Apple. But we'll get that information out there for sure once we know. Maybe the Spirit would be able to tell us. But enough ado.
This is the paranormal edition of Lansdowne.
And once Liam says that, the Ouija board, yeah. So
we've lost contact with him.
We might get another spike at some point. Have you ever done one of those ghost tours?
I haven't. I would love to though. I feel like that would be extremely fun.
Total scam, 100% scam, one total. And you know what? I'm sure the people who do it.
I'm sure they're good people. No, I was
sure
gonna say
very nice people.
Talk to a medium. We should bring a medium on next episode. Try to reach Jake.
Try to just reach the Red Sox in general because they just look dead out on the field. They're just sleepwalking. But no, I did one in town once in Boston, and you know what? I kind of believe in like spirits and stuff like that. Like like the house I'm in right now, I'm pretty sure has a ghost in there. It's not like a mean ghost or anything like that. It's a very nice ghost, not Casper the Friendly Ghost, but you know they just. I think it's a girl, and you know she doesn't really totally bother. She's just kind of mischievous at times, like you know, like she'll fuck with a light here and there or something like that, or she'll leave a door open when you thought it was closed. Stuff, little silly stuff like that. Nothing too bad. Not haunting anyone per se, but you know, just kind of hanging around.
I'm quite certain the last home I lived in before moving to Baltimore here as a young boy, I'm pretty sure it was haunted. Something had happened in the attic, and my parents didn't know until they had actually moved into the house. So the real estate agent really buried the lead there. But something bad happened in the attic, and I don't know if they heard things or things were happening in the house, but the vibes were just not good. They were unpleasant.
Was it a rude ghost? Like did the ghost? Like, was it like?
I don't know. I don't know if it was rude. It was just like, I think the vibe in the house was uncomfortable. Well, I guess we can say that.
And you had to move all the way to Baltimore to
get away.
How long have you been in the DMV area?
Since 97, 98.
Oh, wow. So like basically your whole life.
Like this is all I've known. That and the house in Norfolk, Massachusetts, that may or may not have had a spirit possessing it.
Norfolk. She's not listening to this. I know, unless she goes and surprise me. But Missy Mopania and I have a point of contention, and I want to get people's take on this and mention where you're from when you say so. Norfolk in Massachusetts, like the town and the county. I pronounce it Norfolk.
Correct.
Norfolk.
Yeah.
But she'll go Norfolk.
See, that just doesn't sound right.
Now she's from Franklin, Mass. So like in between Boston and Providence, kind of. You know what I mean? Like that's. I'm from just south of Boston. I'm from Quincy, and I'm the one who actually lives in Norfolk County. So take it from me, all right? All right.
We got boots on the ground.
Yeah. Listen here, lady. All right. You know, like this. I've been around the block before. So that's our ghost talk, and we may even get some more ghost talk as we go forward. But without any more ado,
Speaking of The Walking Dead.
Oh, not a thing. Yeah, we can't really ignore the situation at hand here. A week after starting to unfuck the vibes a little bit, saying, we're just going to go with the flow with the rest of the 2022 Red Sox season, the shitpost Sox, as we called it, the drill Sox, just life in the fast lane. We're going to sneak into the playoffs. We just got to get into the dance, all that fun stuff. After deciding that we were going to go with the flow, we soon realized that the flow fucking sucks. The flow is back to being bad. The Red Sox have 2 wins since we last spoke to you. They are 2-4 in that stretch. Off day today, mercifully, after what started out as...
I saw that on the schedule, the next 3 Mondays are off days, so we can look forward to those if morale doesn't improve.
Yeah, right? I mean... After a very promising start to the road trip, taking 2 of 3 in Houston, you think, 4 games against, relatively speaking, a shit kicker of a team, at least going into the series. Chris Cotillo thought so, too.
Ask Chris Cotillo. I think he jinxed it. Things
are
going great.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we just go back to being the drill Sox and the shitpost Sox. We're like, you know what? The team's still good. Keep the vibes unfucked. Like, let's just go into this next series and just blame it all on Cotillo. That's why they lost. Had nothing to do with what was on the field. You know what I mean? Chris, come onto the podcast to discuss that.
To defend yourself.
Yeah, to defend your honor.
And talk about the soft serve machine and the Fenway press box.
Yes, get back into some more ice cream talk.
Inside scoop, if you will.
There you go. So the last time we talked ice cream, it was more hard serve. This would be, more soft serve this time around.
Correct.
But no, after a promising start to the road trip in Houston against a World Series contender, taking 2 of 3 on their own home turf, after a crazy deadline, the Red Sox dropped 3 of 4 in Kansas City, losing in just about every way possible in those 3 games. They lost a heartbreak walk-off. They got their ass kicked Sunday, and then Thursday they kind of lost like a medium. kind of defeat. 4 run, 7-3. I don't even know how to start talking about this.
I don't know where to begin
Ugly.
because it's like
Right?
it's. I feel like it's every other week with this team.
It's
I feel like
gross.
dating's back to that fateful night in May where we were like, about to write them off, but then they went on that little run until like July 1st, and then since then it's every other week. They're incredibly inconsistent. I can't get a feel for what we'll see day to day, because sometimes they look like they can take down a World Series contender in Houston, and then other days they're losing balls in the sun on every inning,
Multiple times.
We'll have you know. Or
The
they'll
only
throw.
thing consistent about the 2022 Red Sox is that they're completely baffled
inconsistency.
by lights. Like not even like the proverbial lights of the pressure or plane. No, light, like just
literal lights.
the sun,
and
like
the sun.
yeah. Like,
Even with
Jesus.
sunglasses on, it's baffling. And then there's so many guys on this roster that are somewhere between AAA and the major leagues. It's like I feel like the roster's shuffling constantly. Talk about a guy I never want to see again, Darwinson Hernandez. If we want to kick off, don't fuck with. I'm never fucking with him again.
Yeah, I mean,
two innings, 9 runs.
awful.
In that Royals series.
Awful.
So I think I'm all set.
I'm sure we can dive into the Duran stuff too. And I was back to giving Duran a hard time. Like that's been my new thing, I guess, recently. And
Weekly,
not that I'm
MO.
taking joy out of it. You know what I mean? Because it's painful to watch. Like the fielding display he put on Sunday afternoon in Kansas City, it was atrocious. It was what it was. And to his credit, as much as I don't like him and generally I don't how much I don't like his attitude, he had a better answer after the game. He was saying Doogie talked to me and said everybody has those kind of days. He sounded a little bit more accountable compared to how he sounded after the Toronto fiasco, which we don't need to get into. Oh wait, we're getting a transmission from. Is it from the Great Yonder or is it from somewhere else?
It's from
We have a Jake Wallinger here with us to speak. Who is it?
It's the Bobby Dahlbeck
Who is it?
apologist.
No, my name is Lisa.
Jake, wow, the afterlife makes you sound completely different. Wow.
Yeah, I had a voice transplant. So,
How's it like in the astral realm?
it's great. I'm here in the beautiful astral realm of Boston, Massachusetts, just contemplating how much I love Bobby Dahlbeck. And hating Jaron Duran as always.
Well, you joined us at the right
perfect
time,
timing.
Jake. Yeah, right? You joined us at the perfect time because we were just talking about Mr. Duran.
Oh.
Yeah, your thoughts. I know you're dead now, and so like what you're saying is not as. It doesn't matter as much now because it is just kind of being yelled into this void from the afterworld. But if you were to have some thoughts about Jaron Duran from the grave, what would you say?
I would say I was right, as I always am. And I, being actually my beautiful girlfriend Sophie, was right, as she always is.
Well, don't be putting words in her mouth now. I want you to be responsible from the afterlife.
And that Jaron Duran, baseball reflects personality, and Jaron Duran had a terrible personality, so we should have known he would be bad at baseball.
It makes you
But
think.
also, outside of this, I'm realizing that I probably have bad sound quality because Jake just texted me to use his mic, but I'm walking around Boston. So
It does not sound great whatsoever. Don't you worry, but it's fine. It's
So I
it's
will
okay.
cough
bit.
off so as not to ruin the integrity of your podcast. But thank you for having me for this period of time.
Well, enjoy the afterlife.
Thanks for joining us.
Is it limbo? Is it heaven? Is it hell? What is it?
Hell, for sure, hell. Stop. This place,
It's
terrible.
it's hot enough.
98 degrees.
Hope you brought the
Very
sunblock.
bad. All right, hopping on the famous MBTA. Take care, fellas.
Enjoy.
Bye, Jake. We'll see you in hell as well
Bye.
years from now. Wow. Wow.
Well, that was great.
Unbelievable to get
Really,
that.
scientists will be amazed that we were able to connect with another realm like that via StreamYard.
Do you think Sophie's gonna be mad that Jake, had his name in her or had her name in his mouth, like just throwing out that what my girlfriend said this, that, the other kind of thing, or do you think she'll be?
I mean, I would
that?
be. I wouldn't want a dead person to speak for me.
Yeah.
That just seems
maybe it's
silly.
honored. Maybe their communication when Jake was with us was good, and it ended up working out. So, but in all seriousness, it's like, again, the whole Duran stuff. I could talk it to him blue in the face about that. It's just horrible. He's not a major league baseball player right now. He is not.
No.
Or maybe
he's
even
not.
in general.
Caliber,
at least. I mean, he technically is Ben Shapiro. Like, well, for the sake of the argument, he is a major league baseball. No, it's he doesn't have the stuff. He doesn't have to do the Trump bit about Hillary. He doesn't have the stamina. He doesn't have the stamina.
He's basically comatose out there.
He's
I don't think he's not going to last much longer. Even though I do think we'll see him through the rest of the season.
Yeah, but with that, I don't want to let Darwinson off the hook either, because he was he was horrible.
He was ass. He gave up one hit, walked 4 batters, and all 5 of those runners scored.
Yeah, I mean, we had that bases loaded. No, that was actually a different game I was thinking of. Never mind. But the thing I noticed with Darwinson the most, what would you say he tops out at? 96? Like, he has some good velo.
96, 97. That's what annoys me with him.
It's a nothing fastball.
Yeah, I mean he's got 1.5 pitches. There's that, and then the slider he throws, which, I mean, if he can figure out where it's going, sometimes it looks good. But he's frustrating. He frustrates me because I do think, like, this stuff is there. He's the Jarren Duran of the pitching staff. Like, the
Jarren
talent
Duran
is
has
there.
raw skills. He does.
Yeah,
he
like,
just can't
like
put
the
them
talent
together
is there for both of them. But such is the theme of the year, the inconsistency, and, like, just sometimes they just don't look like they belong whatsoever. That's just kind of how, like, the roster's been constructed. It's just full of these guys that
so many quadruple A guys. It feels like.
Like, I understand, like, Heim's MO is you want a 40-man roster that's deep, and I not that that's a terrible strategy, but when you have regulars that just aren't producing, it makes the holes in the rest of the team look that much more glaring. Yeah, I think. I mean, if we're talking about, like, silver linings right now, Hosmer, the at bats that look major league. He looks like a major league caliber player. Not that we should be surprised.
And if he's,
but it's a complete, like, 180 from what we've been seeing at first base.
Yeah, if he's going to be a part of this team going forward, even just as a platoon guy, then sure, fine. Like, at least someone who looks like he belongs at the position.
Right.
I'm looking at this Hernandez home run from what was it, from Thursday night when they lost 7-3.
Yeah.
It's bottom of the 7th, 4-3. First and second, no outs to Perez. First pitch, 90. I'm trying to find the. I think it only was like 93. So not even like the.
So, like, is he? Which leads me to believe he's either hurt or he's, like, experimenting with things. Which at that point, like, why are we trying to do that at the major
93 middle, and Perez turns on it. And it's a flat 93. It's a step above a batting practice fastball. And even if he is touching 97 on that, if it has no life on it and you're locating it horribly, guys are going to catch up to that. Even on the Kansas City Royals. Like, I know Perez is a big power hitter. He led the league in home runs last year. I get that. But other guys are going to catch up to that too, even if they're in the majors. Unless if they play on the Red Sox, maybe they won't be able to catch up to that. But the point is, like, 97, if you time that up and it's got nothing on it, it's got no juice, it's got no late life, it's got no nothing on it, it's just velo, straight velo, and you locate it poorly, people are going to turn on that. You're not going to be able to survive long in Major League Baseball with that kind of repertoire. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no, I'd much rather have a pitching staff full of guys that top out at like 88, and can actually know where it's going, as opposed to Darwinson, who can hit the high 90s, but there's like 1 in a million chance that he actually knows where it's going.
If you leave it on the platter, then what's the use of high 90s velo?
Right.
What's the use?
I mean, and even then, it's like, I mean, for whatever reason, since Aroldis Chapman showed up in 2010, like everybody throws high 90s now. It's like when we were watching like Joel Zumaya highlights, and it was, you thought he was a once in a lifetime player. There are a lot of guys now that have that stuff.
Yeah, everyone in the minors is throwing 95, just baseline.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what we're going to see from the rest of this roster. I would love it if Trevor Story came back and gave us something. I mean, at this point, like, I don't like the JBJ release looks horrible.
Yeah,
like 48 hours after it happened.
Yeah, and we could talk about that, JBJ being DFA'd by the Red Sox being released. Well, first of all, when you say with Story, like, obviously I want to see him back there, but you have to be careful with that. You gotta, anything with the hand and wrist stuff, you gotta, kind of be. You don't want to fuck with any of that. You don't want to rush that back, or because that stuff it's a pretty slippery slope if that stuff gets worse. So rest up as long as he needs to, I guess, because you don't want the rest of the contract to be plagued with that kind of an issue. But yeah, sure. the Jackie Bradley Jr. decision, I think at the time, I was like, I kind of get it. I was like, it's just not doing anything offensively, even though you've got guys on the team who aren't doing anything offensively and don't provide the defensive upside either. So you have that argument to it. And then you have the proof of concept of that argument come through in this Kansas City weekend series. The poor defensive play in the outfield, where you'd be like, I don't care if this guy can't even hit a $150, like at least be able to catch a ball in center field,
right?
With sunglasses on. I don't know. It's just it was 48 hours afterwards, like you said. It was basically the worst case scenario came to play right, immediately afterwards.
Sure, and I feel like that's been the story all year. It's like as soon as we've identified an issue, it stares us immediately in the face. I think the weekend was mostly frustrating. Like I'm okay like getting the shit beat out of us every now and again, because that's gonna happen. But just the fact that Saturday night you're basically one pitch away from maybe splitting the series, and Whitlock looked great, and Eovaldi looked great. But like those small margins this year, they're not going our way.
It's really not. Like
that's just how it's going.
Injury luck, the little things in terms of mental lapses. I guess that's not even like that's something that you can control, I guess, but they still haven't gone our way, and things out of our control haven't gone our way. Namely the health, and I don't want to use that as a complete crutch as to why the team's been underperforming, but it is a part of it. It's a little bit of everything there. Anything that kind of could go wrong sort of has up until this point.
Yeah.
And good thing we still got another 2 fucking months of this stuff to go. Yeah, it's just so frustrating because they're just finding every way to lose. Just uncompetitive games, blowing it late, multiple instances of that. Uninspiring performances, whether it's at the plate or pitching. It's just been just exhausting.
But like that, and that's what's terrible, because like I don't want to give up on them just yet. They're 2 under. They show signs of life as recently as less than a week ago, and then here we are again, ready to write them off. So you know what? They'll probably take the next 2 from the Braves at home, because why not?
We'll be in the 3rd fucking wild card spot when we record next week. That's what's going to happen. They're going to beat the defending champs twice. They're going to win the Little League game against Baltimore. It's the Little League game, right? They're playing
no, it's just a makeup game.
Oh,
that one is that one's like 2 or 3 weeks from now. It's at the end.
Oh,
of the month.
okay. Because I know like August is usually the Little League time, so so it's not this week.
But that one is coming up. So
they're gonna win both of them. That's what's gonna happen, and then we're gonna sweep the fucking Yankees. We're gonna be right on Seattle's heels or whoever's heels, right on the doorstep for the wild card, and we're gonna be talking ourselves back into it. I'm gonna say Tommy Pham has been a great pickup. It was worth getting rid of JBJ
yes,
for.
He's a real major league player. Like that's the difference between him and whoever else we've been running out there in the outfield, and along the lines of like, I mean, not to rip on him because like he has kind of looked good, but Jalen Davis, like another 4A player, like Tommy Pham and Eric Hosmer are real legitimate major league players.
Yeah,
who can give you good at bats. Yeah,
Tommy Pham hasn't been as good this year, but he's always been pretty good at getting on base. And for like, he's not an overly big guy, but he's always had a fair amount of pop. Honestly, like
yeah,
even as going back to last year, like he still, and maybe some of that was playing at Great American consistently, which is a hitter's paradise. That's a bandbox of a park, but still hit the ball hard. And an improvement over what you've been getting from the outfield, like corner outfield positions a lot of this year. But again, just overly frustrating. And again, it's the one thing that's been consistent about the 2022 Red Sox is that they've been inconsistent. So yeah, I'm very prepared for next week's episode where we go back to singing Life of the Fast Lane, saying that they're back.
Yeah. And I feel like we're going to be doing that for the next 6 to 8 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
Because now you're catching the Braves after they've lost 4 or 5 to the Mets. So you're catching them at a downtime. The Orioles, I feel, are very similar to us, where they look like they can be world beaters one night, and then the next night they've never played baseball before. And then you're catching the Yankees for 3 at a time where I feel like their ailments, so to speak, are really like coming to light. People are noticing the fact that they've
lost 5 in a row.
Sub 500 since the middle of June. So they're coming up on like really 2 months not inspired baseball. So now, see, I'm already doing it. I'm already talking myself back into it. They'll take, they'll end up taking, they'll go 5-2 on this homestand,
right?
And we'll be right back in it.
I mean, let's talk it out. We're Toronto, Tampa, Seattle right now in the wild card. Baltimore is too big of them. Baltimore were sellers at the deadline, so spin zone there. We could beat the seller.
You traded your closer, and you traded Mancini. So, not that like, I mean, they were sort of in the same position as us. It's like which way do you go?
Spot. And they most certainly picked the selling option, and here they are 3 games ahead of us. But then Cleveland tied with them. The White Sox are a game behind them. We're 2 games behind the White Sox. The White Sox stink. We stink too, but that's not the point.
That's the thing. Like the 3 teams ahead of us, like they don't move me.
And then Texas is 5 games back of us.
I think I'm already out on the 3rd wild card. We never need to do this again. If this is what the seasons are going to be like when we're just mediocre, it's miserable.
What I'm getting at is I'm asking how much do you think the wild card tickets are going to be at Fenway? Like, do you think it's going to be?
No, it's more so what are the ALCS tickets against the Yankees going to go for? Because if you get the 3rd wild card, you're playing Minnesota. I think Houston ends up as the 1 seed. We know we can beat them.
We just did.
So
twice.
I'm already looking ahead to the championship series.
We have a history against Justin Verlander in the playoffs.
I mean, it's happening. You're getting a Red Sox Yankees ALCS as far as I'm concerned. Or at the very least, we're playing Tampa.
I think we can all tell that this is going to happen. I think we all know it. The writing's on the wall, my friend.
It's crazy enough that it might work. We were saying it last week, because like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm giving these Red Sox, these post trade deadline Red Sox, at least till the end of this month before I can comfortably write them off.
Yeah.
If we're in the same position on September 1st, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, 5
think,
games
like-
over the course of a month is a lot.
Right.
5 games over the
So-
course of 2 months is going to be it's a big uphill climb to
and,
venture out on.
and the rest of the month is really, yes, you're seeing the Yankees once, you're seeing the Orioles a couple of times, you see Tampa and Toronto again. Like that's, like, do something, show me something.
You are facing
now
the
that
teams that you have to jump.
Yeah, now that you've added Tommy Pham and Eric Hosmer, Eovaldi is back. Whitlock is back. Like now over the next 3 to 4 weeks, we can really, I feel like, are really going to tell us whether or not they're, like, whether the season can be salvaged.
Run out of
Because
time.
then you see those
5 is
same
a
teams
lot.
again in September.
Yep.
With a little bit of you see the Pirates too this month, which may or may not help. Because we thought Kansas City was going to be a cakewalk.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna say anything about the Pittsburgh Pirates because we just
No,
got
'cause
fucking
they-
manhandled by the
Yeah,
Royals.
no, they scare me. But it's so frustrating because you just don't know what you're gonna get. They could be facing Ian Anderson and Max Fried the next 2 nights, and
Well, Anderson got sent down, right?
oh, did he? Maybe who am I
Yeah.
thinking of then?
I think Charlie Morton.
Maybe, yeah. So like, if we face Atlanta's 2 best pitchers,
We got
they'll
well, we
probably
got
end up winning both.
Well, we got Morton Tuesday night, so there you go, against Dick Mountain, according to MLB app. Wednesday is Kyle Wright, who's been very good this year, 13-5, 3.22 ERA.
That's what I was thinking of. Okay.
Yeah.
Not instead
No-
of Anderson.
No starter for the Orioles on Thursday just yet, but yeah, you get Shuck and then you get Wright, so not ideal.
I'm out on Rich Hill. I'm sorry. I don't want to see him on Tuesday night. God bless him. Like it's going to be another situation where I'm guessing they piggyback Bayo again because it sounds like everything's fine there. But also, Rich Hill didn't look like Rich Hill had nothing the last time out.
Well, he's 42, right? 40.
Yeah.
It is what it is with him. You know what I mean? He was good
He's
to start the
the number
year.
5.
He was good to start the year. He's an okay option to eat innings every now and again, but he's looked subpar as of late. If this is the end of the line, if this is the last year for Rich Hill, what a fucking amazing career for him. I mean, as long as he played.
Insane, really.
I remember
He debuted in 2005.
when he came up with the Cubs. I remember. I mean, he's from Milton, Mass, which is right next to Quincy, and there's a bank right on the Quincy-Milton line. And my nanny used to work. My grandmother used to work there. She got a banknote signed by Rich Hill. I probably have it somewhere. And my nana knew I loved baseball. And I'm like, oh, this guy Rich Hill. I wonder if he ends up being anything. And that was 2004, and he's still pitching. It's crazy to think about. Go home and
It's
be the
also-
king of Milton, man. You rule the town.
It's also crazy that his career lacked any sense of like consistency up until he was like 33. Because you're looking at his first full season, he threw 100 innings, started 16 games for the Cubs. Year after that, he threw nearly 200 innings, but then he didn't even post 100 innings again until 2016, which is crazy.
Crazy. And he's got well over the 10 years of service time. He's going to get his pension. He's going to get, however much money every year forever and ever from the union, basically. It's, again,
Long Island
little
Ducks
career for
legend.
himself. Yeah. Did he end up winning a ring?
He was not on the Dodgers in 2020. Last year he was with Tampa and the Mets. No, so he does not have one, sadly.
Well, again, he's going to at the end of 2022 when we
Yeah, I mean,
playoffs.
because we're beating the Yankees in the ALCS.
Good things come to those who wait is basically what I'm trying to say. Man. God bless him, Dick Mountain. They call him Dick Mountain, folks. Yeah, it's just a fucking weird team, man. This is such a weird.
It's all like I couldn't even tell you like
I think it's like maybe one of the
what
weirdest teams. Not like one of my least favorite teams. It's just such a fucking baffling team. It's a weird Red Sox
yeah, I
team.
couldn't even give you like a comp. I like 2012, they were around. They were kind of doing this up until that huge trade.
The closest I can think of is like, I guess 19 to an extent, but like.
But I don't really feel like.
Not even 2006 when they missed the playoffs after making a cut. Not even that. No, there's really not like.
Because what they won 84 and 19. I think they won like 86 in 2006.
Something like that. They may not have been sniff 80 this year, so it's like.
No, yeah, exactly. So it's.
14 and 15 were complete dumpster fires. Like that was
like those teams were not good. Especially 14. Like 15 showed signs of life at the end.
Yeah, second half, Porcello and Wade Miley.
Yeah, that'll get you. That'll get you places. Well, now there's no like comparable team I can.
It's such a weird team.
Pull out of my hat. Like they are the definition of mediocre.
Mediocre. Shut your mouth, you mediocre clarinet player. You're right. I really don't know if there's a comp for this team. There's unprecedented weirdness for the 2022 Sox.
I'm not saying like I'd rather they like just suck at this point, because like at least we're still they still have us, and Labor Day is in like 3 weeks. So I guess in that sense, yeah, okay, being around 500 is worth it, but it's like pulling teeth some nights, man. Thank God they have the night off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just so I can get some sleep. You know what I mean? I can play a little FIFA beforehand or some Fall Guys. I don't have to worry about the weird fucking ball bat team. But I'll tell you, if it's 5 or more by the time my hometown fantasy draft comes up, then it might be curtains. Yeah, my attention shifts more to fantasy drafts and football at that point.
like typically, if it were like a regular, if there weren't a third wild card, like I'd already be shifting into Liverpool mode. But I can't yet, just because the Sox are still mathematically and theoretically in it. So it's
very convenient very convenient that you haven't shifted into Liverpool mode after they drew the first game.
Yeah, no, we're still. Don't worry, I was not waking up for that 7:30 start.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you from the 2-point gap in the table.
Massive. Arsenal, they're gonna run away with it.
Arsenal! Man, this is my only time I really get to say that because I just know what's gonna happen as the year goes on. A friend of mine is a Spurs fan, and I was giving him a hard time when they fell down 1-0, and they promptly scored 4 goals after that, Spurs that is, to win 4-1. So that didn't feel great, but hey, they didn't get a clean sheet, so haha.
It's also like I know this is gonna be me sounding like I'm bragging, but it's like when I feel like they played in the Champions League final like 4 weeks ago. I was just like, I need a break, There were so many games last year when it came to the FA Cup and, the Champions League run. You're in the Premier League title race until the final day. Like, man, it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
We scored 96 points in the table.
It's like, oh, man.
We were runner-up in Europe. Oh, it's so tough beating Liverpool.
Now I gotta, put my brave face on and get ready for another year. It's, need a vacation. I've been dealing with the Red Sox all summer, so that hasn't helped.
I've needed a vacation from Arsenal for like 15 years at this point. Maybe a little less, but it's probably around 10, 15 years I've been, considering myself definitely an Arsenal fan. More than 10 at this point. But this is like the first time I've actually gone into an Arsenal season where I'm optimistic. Like I think
it's a good feeling.
I think we're going to be top 4. I really do. I think it's going to be. I think you guys end up winning it. I don't think City wins it again. City on paper probably has the better team, but I don't know. It's like it's. I think it's a lot closer in terms of the skills than I think people think. So I'll go different. I'll say Liverpool, City. Fuck it, us 3. Fuck it, because I think we're better. I think we're better. I think we're better than Chelsea. We're definitely better than United, and I think we can beat out Spurs. It'll be us and Spurs 3 and 4. Like it'll be close. But I don't know, man. I love what Mikel's building for us now. I love the culture he's built.
I saw it in person just last month. You know, they took down the Toffees. It was a magical night at M&T Bank.
I think we're out of baseball, like in terms of on the field talk. So the rest is just going to be kind of us, just like riffing.
Yeah, we're just going to be riffing for the next 10 to 15.
Yeah. So if you don't want to listen to the footy talk, I'm Fitz. That's Liam. You heard from Jake Spirit. Thank you as always for listening. We'll talk to you next week. But if you want to stay and hear about how great Gabriel Jesus is going to be, I mean, he didn't score on Saturday, or on Friday rather. Excuse me. He didn't score, but like he completely made his presence felt on the field. Like you can tell like the runs he was making, just the presence of him pushing in the first place is going to be such a shot in the arm that the team needed, especially without Aubameyang there anymore. The team definitely needed someone up front to be a striker, and Jesus fits the bill perfectly. And it's no secret that he looked good in a system of a guy who played under Pep at City. You know what I mean? Coming over from Man City, right? You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. That it ends up working out. I think he'll score 20 goals for us this year across however many competitions.
Ooh.
I think so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it.
He's got to work on his finishing a bit, like just from what I've seen like the last year or two. But I mean, he's done it before with City, and he's going to be the main target guy going forward for us. So I can totally see it happening.
It's still. I mean, it just blows my mind that City can they're that deep that they can afford to sell a guy like that, and then they'll just pick up Haaland, who casually scores 2 goals on his debut.
He's so fucking good. He's so good.
I just my thing with Liverpool is if they were to play City 1-on-1, like I know they could take them, but City just run through the league, and Liverpool there's always like 2 or 3 games where they just forget what they're doing, and that's what costs it. So I'm gonna be distraught if it comes down to the wire again and they don't pull it off. But
another point or 2.
Yeah, that would just be miserable. The fact that it's already happened like twice in the past 3 years is out of control.
For Arsenal, like I think you guys will get around like 90-ish points or something like that, like 90-something. Arsenal, how many points?
I could peg you guys at like 70, 75.
I was gonna say 75. I was thinking if they can get to 75 points this year, I think that's top 4. I think that's good enough for top 4.
Yeah, I think so too.
And B, that shows signs of progress for the team. United is in the fucking gallows, man. I love it. It's so funny. They suck. They're so bad. Chelsea's gonna sink too.
Do you think so? Because Chelsea always scare me.
Yeah, first of all they scare me way more than United does. Like I think Chelsea will finish in like a Europa League spot. Like,
yeah, I'm writing United off.
They're gonna. Yeah,
I'm not concerned about them
United's
whatsoever
in the
this season.
Chelsea, I don't buy them as much. Like I know like they still like. Who's the defender that they just got? I know they got rid of Ruger, but who's the defender that they just got there? Didn't they just get a defender?
They signed Sterling too over the summer, which is a good
get for them.
Nowhere,
because they're like Werner has kind of been like, you know what I mean? Like
he hasn't been what I thought he was going to be when he was playing over in Germany.
And Pulisic isn't getting as much play there. You know, he needs to find somewhere else. Fast.
Yeah,
But I don't
I'm
think they're
I'm
gonna
surprised.
fold him.
I'm surprised he didn't leave this summer because
With the World Cup coming up, he needs some more play. You know what I mean?
regular minutes.
Fresh legs, at least. But
It's true.
no. But what's the name of their manager, Chelsea? What's his name?
Oh, Tuchel.
Yeah, like good, like tactical kind of a manager.
I mean,
But,
he
like-
came in and like, I mean, when Frank was there,
I mean,
Frank
yeah,
wasn't doing anything with what he had.
Yeah, and then obviously goes on to win the Champions League a couple years ago. But like, isn't his whole deal like kind of like at some point like it kind of falls apart with his team? Like there's a big blowout kind of a thing because he's really just worried about like the tactics. You know what I mean? Doesn't really know how to manage the room. Isn't that like his whole MO?
See, I'm not really sure because like when he was at Dortmund, he was like the heir after Klopp, and they were really good. They were still like doing what they did when Klopp was at the helm, and then he moved to PSG, and I don't know how that like breakup went down. Just because like I mean,
got
I
a
don't
lot of
follow-
personalities in that dressing room too.
I don't. I mean, I don't follow League One enough to know.
Ligue 1.
Yeah.
Ligue 1 Uber Eats, now it's called.
But I don't have a good enough feel on who he is.
Just from what I've read, that's like kind of like the general. If there's any Chelsea fans listening to this, let me know.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Drop before you drop a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. Let us know how excited you are to be in Europa League next season when we're in the Champions League.
What's the new third one called that they did last year?
It's like the Conference League or something like that.
It's something like that. Does the winner of that get a spot in Europa? They have to, right?
If my FIFA manager Road to Glory mode is any indication of that, then yes, because like I take a team in like the fourth ladder of English soccer, like won the FA Cup. I got a spot in the Conference League, whatever it's called. Won that, then I was in Europa.
Forgot Roma. They are the winners of the inaugural Europa Conference League. So, shout out to Jose,
and then Dybala too. They just got him.
Yeah, they loaded up. They got Wijnaldum too. I don't know if that's on loan or they bought him, but that's my boy.
They're gonna bring Toddy back. 60-year-old Toddy still like scores 20
Might
goals.
as well get the gang back together.
Right. So and that was Talking Soccer, to borrow a line from
that was.
Another podcast. Actually, no, we came up with that phrase. No other podcast has said that was Talking Soccer.
Yeah, I've never heard that on any
Not
other
once, not
podcast
never.
I've listened to.
Last thing I wanted to do before we called off, going back to baseball, Dennis Eckersley announced that he's going to be riding off into the sunset on retirement at the end of the season. No more Eck in the booth after 2022. That news just broke today, Monday the 8th, as you're listening to this. Sad, obviously, understandable. Let the man enjoy his retirement. He's given us years of memories as the color commentary guy in the booth for Nesson, but certainly gonna miss him. All of his Eck-isms. We'll always have clips like that. Before we hit record, we were playing the "You Just Got Your Lunch" clip that Surviving Grady likes to tweet out. Shout out Surviving Grady. Boombas, all the. I gotta
The
have it.
Boombas is so good.
Boombas.
You're right. Like the Actionary, that Twitter account
They'll live
will
on.
become a historic landmark.
Yeah, the benefit of technology nowadays, we always will have that stuff to look back on, so we'll be able to tell people how funny he was. I love Eck. Obviously, I don't give a shit about the price stuff.
Split me,
pair of shoes. I gotta have it.
Another good one.
Look at that moss. Look at that lettuce. I gotta have it. High cheese in his kitchen. Johnson piece there. I don't care about that price shit.
No, I never
weird.
did.
Yeah, right. That was such a weird, because the team was kind of like topsy-turvy at the time. It was just not a good timing kind of a deal. That was such a stupid.
Was that 17?
17.
That's
Right?
that's just bizarre. Yeah, I never understood that. I never understood why people cared. But love Eck, love David Price. Talk about Nesson just losing talent over the past 7 years. I feel like Uke is starting to. He really has come into his own this year.
I think he's been very good.
I think he has too. I love listening to him. So if he and Mike Monaco can just keep
Mike
riffing.
Monaco.
I need more Mike Monaco.
I need it.
Because God bless Dave O'Brien, but there's not the same.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah,
I will go to bat here for DOB in a second. Red Sox Twitter hates O'Brien, and I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. He's a pro. He's really good at calling the balls and strikes. I think he's better suited for the radio. When he was on EEI, he was very good there. He's great at calling the action, balls and strike kind of stuff. Riffing leaves something to be desired.
No.
Can't riff. Cannot riff. Monaco, he can riff.
Dave O'Brien would not last on this show.
Orsillo, big time riffer. Yeah, O'Brien. Well, I don't know why Donald Trump would be commenting on Franchi Cordero, but I like O'Brien, but that's
like
the deal.
O'Brien. That's why I never understood the fit, because O'Brien is really good at painting a picture.
And he's got some great calls.
Right, like he's got a great voice. He gets the national work, but I don't know. There's just especially during a season like this, where it's just bullshit night after night.
And there are some calls where he kind of it leaves a little to be desired, but
yeah,
there are some other, like the Mookie Grand Slam one from 2018. That's a great call. He crushed it. That's a great call.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the
the classic David Ortiz one. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the radio.
LCS.
That was EEI.
Exactly. That's why I think if Castig ever hangs him up, he moves back over.
Joe Castiglione.
I might just become an EEI guy now.
Jaws.
Him and Fleming are I feel like they've got a great thing going.
Yes,
over
they
there.
do. Yes, I like Fleming, and to you and to anyone else listening to this, anytime that if you know that McDonough's on the call with him, must tune in, because McDonough just fucks with Castig the entire time. It's awesome. It's so good.
We should get McDonough to come back to Nesson. We'll start that movement.
Yes. McDonough, halfway through the game, will just start talking about his golf game.
I love all those old clips where he's calling Nomar home runs. Such nostalgia.
That's right. He's good too. That
talk about a run Nesson's had though with McDonough and Orsillo and OB. They get him. Talk about the one constant though, TC. The guy, he's TC. Our he's our North Star.
No matter, he'll always be there.
If he had jumped into the fountains over the weekend, I would have lost. I would have paid him to do it. I would have paid the fine for him.
He's still got the great head of hair too. He's still got the lettuce going. Good for him. Good for TC. Shout out to TC. Maybe Casey McDonald will come back now that Eric Hosmer is in Boston. Maybe she'll rejoin Nesson.
He's there for. Does this count as the third year, or is just the next 3 years of his contract? Is that 23 through 20?
I think their player options are maybe mutual options, so I think they still count. He's going to get paid one way or the other. San Diego's picking up the tab, but yeah, maybe Casey's here to stay. I poked around on her Twitter the other day, just I was like, what's she up to now? Fox News, of course.
Oh no.
I think it's Fox Business technically, but she'll go on whoever's Fox News show to talk about cancel culture or shit like that.
I wish Jake were on this episode with us. God rest his soul. To go over the stuff that was going on at the CPAC conference.
Oh my god.
The guy that sounded like Gru, and then the guy.
I did not see that guy.
The guy from January 6th in the prisoner's cell. We'll have to circle back on that next week.
I'll try to
when
find.
Jake comes back from the grave.
I'm trying to find. Let's see here. Just Casey McDonald, Hosmer, Twitter account. Some pictures of their wedding from a little while back.
Nice.
Trying to find the. Let's see here. From November 6th, 2021. Jesse Waters primetime. So speaking with our brightest minds, Jesse fucking Waters, right? Yeah. Spare me. Woke Bob strikes again. Colin Kaepernick compares the NFL to slavery, and a stripper's emotional support monkey goes wild. Casey McDonald reacts in triple play tonight. Fox News, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh no.
Casey, no.
Oh, no.
No, go back to doing the sports desk. No.
Where's Hosmer from? I want to say like California. Oh, he's from Florida. Okay, so
October
That's all I'm
23rd. Don't mess with the Marines. Is AOC in love? In a brand new
Oh,
Hooters
God.
controversy. Casey McDonald gives her take in triple play tonight at 8.
Casey, come on the pod.
I am not making these up.
That would be extremely funny if she jumps back into sports just because of this.
Did Free Britney backfire? A Florida man captures a gator, and Colbert has a creepy vaccine dance. No, Casey. Remember when times were good.
God bless her.
God bless her.
Yeah, no, earliest free agent. We could be getting 3.5 years of content out of Casey McDonald here.
You had to scroll a little bit back to find those, like not too far back. I don't think she's eaten the trash recently, but still like recent enough. Whoa! Oh, Kelly Nash is engaged to Dallas Keuchel. I did not know that.
What?
So I'm trying to find more Casey McDonald tweets, and she quote tweeted a tweet from Dallas Keuchel. This is from April 1st of 2021. Heading into a new season with that Kelly Nash by my side is my fiance. I did not know that.
Huh.
Shout out Kelly
I
Nash.
didn't know that either.
There you go.
I mean, at least she's got steady work. Dallas is.
Oh no, Casey! Oh no, she retweeted the Padres fan raps. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
That's the song. That's the song we should end with.
California, or San Diego loves the Padres. I promised myself and people on Twitter that anytime I think of that song, I'm going to tweet it out. So I got to do that.
As you should.
So I'll do that now as we wrap up. So for Jake Spirit, for Liam, for Casey McDonald, for for all the correspondents of Fox News, I'm Fitz. Thank you for listening to this episode of Pod on Lansdowne. We'll talk to you next week when we're in a wild card spot and ready to make a late season push.
After they've gone 7-0 on this homestand.
Yeah, right. Yeah, can't wait for them to sweep the Yankees this weekend at the Fens. So, go Sox, baby.
Sox.
And go Padres. If you're Casey McDonald. And are you fucking kidding me? Frozen again. It's not ending.
Oh. I still hear you.
This fucking we're still going. This part I might just, or maybe I'll just. No, now we can end it. Okay, go Sox.